In this video, I'm going to share exactly how I organize my life with Apple reminders. And with the new update and everything, this is probably the app I use the most. I am in the Apple ecosystem and I love the seamless integration with Apple calendars, Apple reminders, and Apple Notes. Hopefully this gives you some ideas of how you might want to organize your Apple reminders as well. Let's dive right in. The only smart list I use is pinned to the top here on my today. So you can unpin the list, and to pin is really easy. You right click pin list, and that is my today list. Now, my today list is a smart list. Let me explain how to create a smart list. So on the bottom left, click add list. Okay. And you'll see here, there's different types of standard, groceries, or smart list. So for my today list, I put as smart list today. And my today list is anything I need to get done today or that I have not gotten done in the past that I need to get done. So to create a smart list that encompasses this, choose a smart list, include reminders matching all of the following filters. And I want to do it by date. I want to give it a relative range. So in the past means today, and in the past, I'm going to put 1 here, year. Anything that I need to get done today that I haven't completed or in the past will be on this list. I can create that, but I already have. So I'll show you exactly. It looks exactly the same over here. You'll see here that I have every 2 months reminder and under my routines to clean washer fluid with a YouTube video link of how to do that because every 2 months I forget how to do it. No joke. And then you'll see here, I have a digital reset that I do every week. By the way, for my weekly reminders, I actually put an alarm on my iPhone because when you work online, even meetings, like I will put alarms for a lot of things. Otherwise, I get so into something and I totally forget. And then I have film YouTube video, which is what I'm doing today. And then also record rehab exercises. So this is my most important list because it's the action item things I need to get done. I use my reminders app as any list that requires taking action. Okay. So you'll see here, I have a lot of different lists, and by no means you have to have all of these lists, but these are just the lists that work for me. The first one is the brain dump. I've already organized it, but my brain dump is anything I will add throughout the day that I will organize later. So sometimes I will talk to Siri and tell Siri to add certain things, and then I'll organize it later. Hey Siri, add 2 reminders to return Costco pants.
Okay, I've added return Costco pants to the brain dump list.
These are my lists. I won't press onto all of them because there's, personal information in there, but my scheduled list is a standard list. All of these lists are standard besides my pinned list up here. My scheduled list is anything that I have scheduled in my calendar already. This could be things such as due dates. They can be reminders for me to cancel memberships. It could be reminders for me to get things done in a certain day. So for example, let's say I need to cancel ClassPass membership on July 25th. You can click it on there. And then once I've scheduled that, I will just move it to my scheduled. So you can just literally drag it in there, or you can also right click and list. You can move to the list that you want. I'm just going to delete that for now. So again, I have my brain dump, which I organize later. I have anything that I have scheduled already goes into my schedule. My month is items that I want to get done this month. To complete is everything else I need to get done possibly in the year, but haven't been scheduled and are not being done this month. And then maybe is anything that is not a priority, but I'm just going to put in there in case I want to do it at some point. And then I have my content ideas. I'll put on there, and then I'll eventually actually move it into my Apple Notes because my Apple Notes is where I get all my content creation drafts and everything done and completed. This is just a way to add things quickly while I'm on the go. I have a sell list, things I want to sell. I have a buy list, and on my buy list, I have my needs and my wants. So my needs is anything like I gotta buy. And then my wants are things I want, but I can probably hold off. So let's just see if I still want it later. I have a routine list. And by the way, if you don't know how to make like sections, you can create new sections, blah, 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 blah. And that's pretty easy. I'm just going to delete that. But anyways, my routines are in 5 categories. I have work, business, health, home maintenance, and life admin tasks. So for example, under my business, I have a weekly newsletter that I write every Saturday, and that just goes there. I just get reminded every Saturday. To create a weekly reminder is pretty easy on Apple Reminders. You can say, write Substack newsletter every Saturday. So when you say every Saturday, it's going to suggest it and create it into a weekly reminder. Isn't that awesome? Power of Apple. Okay, I'm just going to delete that because I don't need to do that. By the way, if you're interested, I do have a weekly newsletter, which is called Slow Down Sundays. And on Sundays every week, I like to reflect on my week and share all my lessons and everything that I've been thinking in that week. I have about 150 subscribers on my newsletter. So if you want to connect with me a little bit on a more personal level, that's where all my thoughts, like a little hello from a friend every week. And then I have my health, weighing myself weekly, and then home maintenance, clean washer fluid. As you see here, I don't really add too many things to my routine, keep it pretty simple. I won't go through my life admin tasks because there's some more personal information on there. Okay. Food to make is any recipes or things I want to try. There's not many here, but there's like a keto peanut thing I want to make. There's a 5-minute fruit thing that I saw. So any recipes that I'm curious about making, I'll put in here. I do want to eventually make some sourdough, so that's also on my list. All right, so moving on to my last list here, which is my relationships. And relationships is a big part of your life, so I like to stay organized with it as best I can. I mean, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I totally forget about this list, but it is nice to have regardless, just to have an overview of the people in your life and those that are important to you. You can create whatever subsections that you want. So let's say you met George at networking event on April 15th. This is just an example. You can add any details you want about this person. And then you can add like, hey, let's say you want to write a thank you note to George. And for these things, I would add a tag like under 10. So let me just explain my tags. I don't have that many. I only have 4. So Lenny is my partner, and anything related to Lenny, I will tag with Lenny so that when I see him, I just click on that and it's simple and easy. I don't forget what I need to remind myself about when it comes to my partner. I have an outside list, which is I'll take any items that require me to get done not at home. So if I'm out, I'm going to review that list so that maybe I can get another thing done while I'm outside. Priority is anything that I've been really procrastinating that I have to get done. For example, submitting my taxes is the priority. And under 10 is things that I can get done under 10 minutes. So if I have a little bit of extra time in the day and I feel like getting something done, I'll look at this list to just check it off. Let's say I want to write a note to George, a thank you note. I can just drag it into there, so it'll be under George. Or you can right click and indent reminder. Oh, there's a shortcut. What is the shortcut? Right. Thank you note. Oh, sorry. Okay, command that little signal icon. Whoa, that's way faster. Okay, so if you ever want to indent, you can write, I'll say get out of it and command bracket. Whoa, that's much easier. All right, so I do want to show you a few things on calendar. Now, you can see here my weekly reminders are on the days that I set them to be. When I'm planning out my day, things I need to get done that day, the night before, for example, I actually like to put it up here instead of putting it under a specific time. I find that it's really small and hard to see there. I'm not someone who does time blocking. I just put all the things I want to get done that day, and it's nice to be able to see them on the top. Compost. And then as you get them done, you can just click them here. And obviously these will show up on your reminders app as well if you don't want to look through your calendar. But I love the fact that they're integrated now. So when I look at my calendar, I can also see my reminders, which is amazing. When you add reminders, it automatically goes to I believe the first list on you can obviously move it to anything you want, but I just keep it at brain dump. And then there's all these other things, but honestly, I like to keep it simple. So that is basically it when it comes to how I organize my life with Apple reminders. If you have any questions about any of this, please let me know in the comments below. And I like to keep things simple because it's not about the time you spend trying to make it the perfect system. It's about actually getting things done. So keeping it simple is what I personally like to do. If you found this video helpful, please click subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss my next video, which is going to be all about how I manage my Apple Notes. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.